Mohammed Meri from University of Strasbourg in France. My topic is expertise of sociology of organization and the leadership of the VUCA method in the face of the COVID-19 crisis. What roles, what successes? Firstly, what's the concept, origin, and development of the VUCA method? The terms of VUCA method was coined by US Army at the end of the 1980. It aims to describe a world in which many organizations are shaken and a certain form of uncertainty now regain. It comes from the military world and was inspired to the American by the collapse of the Soviet bloc. VUCA method refers to the four characteristics that reflect the world according to its inventor. Volatility is mean everything changes very quickly, and you must constantly adapt your organization. The second characteristic is uncertainty. We do not know what the future holds. It's hard to imagine the long term. Third characteristic is complexity. We receive a lot of information that it can come from anywhere. Situations are difficult to analyze. The last characteristic is ambiguity. We do not have a pre-established pattern. Situations are new, and the chain of cause and effect is not clear. It is difficult to interpret a situation, as said Andrea Serial in 2020. Bill George in 2070 presents the development of VUCA method prime. Now is a time of genius business leader to step forward and lead their businesses. This type of leadership given the acronym a whole new meaning. Volatility equal vision, uncertainty equal understanding, complexity equal clarity, and ambiguity equal agility. The VUCA method leadership and management in times of health crisis like COVID-19 to help everyone to through this crisis. Leaders will need to keep creating space, collecting data and information, identifying manageable action, running small tests, and then leading the whole process repeatedly, as shown the figure. Volatility after uncertainty, after complexity, and at the least ambiguity. It's always in continuous repetition or movement. The practices and the lessons and the result of leadership and management of VUCA method practiced during the crisis COVID-19 resumed by my research. In my research hypothesis why are there the country that use the term resilience as a meaningless slogan in this era of COVID-19, while other countries use it as an expression of value to protect nation? Or in the other term, there is a relationship between resilience vis-a-vis political regime. My research is based on analysis of statistic from the site virzinkov.com, from two periods, November 30, 2020 and May 31, 2021, as well as analysis of speech of political and administrative leaders of countries affected by COVID-19. The result of my research presented the country of the world in 6 groups. The dictatorial groups, it include military, confessional and tribal country, populist country, electoral and political crisis country, self-disciplined country, participatory decision-making country, and other country. I present some comparative statistic data concerning the human health impact of COVID-19 according to viruscov.com coronavirus, which adapt the result of the pandemic COVID daily, that's every day, to November 30, 2020, from November 30, 2020 to May 31, 2021, depending on the country group. The dictatorial regime, which include military, sectarian, and tribal country, the rate of mortality by COVID-19 in all the population is between 2 to 5%. Which country? This country include Russia, China, Iran, Syria, Assad regime, Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba, Belarus, Tajikistan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, United Emirates, Lebanon, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Sudan, Palestine, etc. Like this country, the mortality in the population is between 1.33 to 5% in all the population. The second country group is a country with populist government. The rate of mortality is between 0.2 to 0.8%, such as USA, Trump, UK, Johnson, Brazil, Bolsonaro, Italy, Hungary, India, Turkey, Mexico, Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Austria, Greece, Philippines. The third group of country, the country of the government are in an electoral and political crisis. The mortality is less than the other country, is between 0.3 to 0.7%, like France, Spain, Belgium, South Africa, Portugal, Israel, and Switzerland. The fourth group of country means a country with self-disciplined population. The rate of mortality is very, very low, is about 0.0001 to 0.001. Is nothing like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, New Zealand, Thailand, Australia, Vietnam, Hong Kong. The fifth country includes the country with participatory decision-making. The rate of mortality also is very, very low, is between 0.006 to 0.1. It includes Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Netherlands, Canada. The last group of country is named other country. this country depend on the 5 precedent countries. The effect of leadership and management model of the VUCA method practiced during the crisis by country group is the country group leader, culture, variable, etc. The country with the dictatorial regime has economic collapse, political repression, decreased social conflict, lack of culture, environmental deterioration. The country with populist government has economic regression, political division, social conflict, cultural demagogy, ignorance of the environment. The country, the government are in the electoral and political crisis, has economic fragility, political struggle, social separation, cultural weakening, and environment as a slogan. The country with self-disciplined population has contained economic development, political stability and homogeneity, social cohesion, identity strengthening, and environment protection. The country with participatory decision-making has economic development, political stability, social cohesion, cultural reinforcement, environment protection, and sustainable development. The other country have been impacted by the crisis in terms of the model followed of leadership and management of COVID-19 according to the influence of all category of country already mentioned. Finally, the expertise of sociology of organization in comparative statistical data analysis concerning the impact of COVID-19 on human health according to group of country. Country with dictatorial confessional tribal regime as Russia, China, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Assad regime, Gulf Arab country, North Korea, etc., has deteriorated all things. All things is deteriorated. Country with populist government, USA Trump, UK Johnson, Brazil, Barcelona, etc., has a more of impact by the pandemic. The country where government are in electoral and political crisis, as France, Macron, Spain, Sanchez, Belgium, Flanders and Wallonia, Israel, Netanyahu, etc., has also very, which country also is very, very impacted. The country with a self-disciplined population like Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the country which participatory decision-making like Germany, Scandinavia country, Canada, has a little impacted by the pandemic. The conclusion, my paper deals with the expertise of sociology of organization and leadership using VUCA method as a new approach to leadership and management in times of crisis to achieve the adaptation, performance, and development of public administration, businesses, NGOs, and civil society. Also, this paper shows the VUCA method as a new organizational approach to, in crisis, the effect of leadership and management model of the VUCA method practiced during crisis by group of country, COVID-19. This impact illustrate country with dictatorial regime, economic collapse, political repression, disquiz, social conflict, lack of culture, environmental degradation. A country with populist government, economic regression, political division, social conflict, cultural demography, ignorance of the environment. Country where government are in electoral and political crisis is in economic fragility, political struggles, social separation, cultural weakening, and environment as a slogan. The country with a self-disciplined population are in high economic development, political stability, social harmony and cohesion, strengthening of identity, protection of the environment, and the country with participatory decision-making are in contained economic development, conscious political stability, social cohesion, cultural strengthening, environment protection, and sustainable development. The other country, as I mentioned, this country has been impacted by the crisis of, in terms of model followed for leadership and management of the COVID-19, according to the influence of the category of country already mentioned. As the end, I will thank you very much for organizing this very, very interesting conference. Thank you for your